gonna be upset about this one. He's gonna be really upset about this one. So I guess the question of the night. I don't know who I'm joined by right now.
All right.
But the second sauce. Whoa. Got some echoing there. All right. So, welcome to the Saucecast. I'm joined right now by Righty. This is Crotch Rocket. Darian's gonna be really, really mad about this one. He's gonna be upset. I guess there's no need to talk about anything but the finish. It's gonna be short and sweet. A few differing opinions here with the way we feel about it. I guess the main question here is, should Austin Dillon be penalized, or should he not be penalized? What do you think, Righty?
Well, that is a good question. I think that's a tough question, man. And we just
Righty's in the car driving through West Virginia right now. That's why he sounds so weird. If he cuts up,
I sound weird. Yeah, I normally
Cadillac.
sound like a handsome. I think no. I don't think that should be. Well, I think it should be penalized. Yeah, the contact on Denny, Why do
you think it should be penalized? Not to interrupt you. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but what's your main reason?
Like the hooking, intentionally hooking into the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it's a safety thing, it shouldn't be okay. But I don't think the win should be taken away. I don't think it should be a points deal. I think it should be like a monetary fine, you know?
I think that would just be, I mean, I'm so glad somebody did. I never thought that it would be Mr. Hardpart or the White Spot Phantom that would do it. But I was really surprised and really pleased that somebody actually did something. You always watch that second car go into 3 and 4 and wish, especially if it's somebody you don't like.
Always.
I wish they would just run in and hit the shit out of them. And by
nobody
God,
ever
he did.
does it. And nobody ever has the balls. I was telling my friend this earlier. Like he was saying the same thing, and I'm like, dude, finally, like someone had the balls to do it, and I didn't expect it to happen because no one ever does.
Yeah, and I wouldn't have expected him because, number one, I wouldn't have expected him to be up front. That was
right.
That was something, but you've had so many of the same cast of idiots up there, from Larson, who's like the one you could probably depend on to screw up, and Chastain.
Yeah.
But Christopher Bell and Denny Hamlin up there and things like that, they're just going to do their normal crap. And Joey Logano's like that anymore anyways. Like, these guys need something to wake them up. And so, you know, I'd hate to be
Denny
Elton
and
Sawyer
Joey
right now.
Be it. Do
it. Denny had the weirdest take on, I don't get what his removed problem is from everything. I don't know if you heard that, because I know you're traveling.
Removed. I saw one video. I don't know if it's the same one.
His drivers were more pissed off that raced for another organization than he was. It was odd. And he was not pissed off. He didn't look pissed off. He didn't act pissed, like maybe a little annoyed. He acted annoyed. It was so weird. It was the most Mark Martin thing I've ever seen him do.
Besides not win the championship.
Right.
Yeah. No, I love Mark.
No respect to Mark, but I mean, that's something Mark would have done.
I don't know. You seem removed to you. I mean, the interview I saw afterward, it might have been it was one with Bob, though. I don't think it was the broadcasted thing, but I saw one with Bob, and it didn't seem like removed or anything, just kind of his usual post-race self, where he seems like he's concussed because he's talking slow and he's like trying to recover from the race, because he's old now. But he's like, well, Bob, you know, these guys, you know, this is how they race now. I get it, but kids are growing up watching this in the short track, and NASCAR's allowing this. But then he's such a freaking hypocrite. Like, how many times has he gotten into somebody, put him in the wall, or just race the crap out of them, race them hard for no reason, like
Well, I know
what he was doing to
it wasn't a
Kyle.
racing deal. I mean, to me, the last wreck could be deemed a racing deal. I think that's too close to. It's too close to.
It could be.
It didn't look like a hook because they were both moving. I think in opposite directions, but the audio.
Yeah, it didn't look
afterwards,
like
I
a
guess, is
blatant.
what shows and tells that it's some
Yeah, we should talk
screwery
about the
going on.
audio a little bit too, because I see people were claiming on Twitter and stuff, quoting that he said wreck him, and I listened. I had that in mind. You know, when you listen with something in mind already, you're gonna hear that and everything. The way he was said it, it just doesn't seem right. So I heard him say, "Heck yeah." Someone that does like someone commented they heard hook, heck yeah, and that he supposedly apologized for saying that he wrecked him. So, or that he told him to wreck him. So, yeah, either way, I guess that was his intention. But
Here's the thing, though, that I don't get about that is a spotter can say whatever they want. They're not the one driving the car, which,
right,
like,
it is weird that the spotter would say that to begin with. But spotters can be weird in my experience.
I mean, if it's like that fat fucking slob Brett Griffin telling his driver his arm is your arm itching, and you can read between the lines, wreck him is a little more acceptable. And see, that's the thing, like, people don't want to accept that when Brett Griffin did it, there was some royal fuckery going down to the point where you were screwing somebody out of a playoff berth, and you give Martin Truex a free playoff berth as well. It didn't. It didn't make sense. So for him to say anything about it, and I haven't seen him say anything about it, is very hypocritical. But you can't look at it like a rig situation. Right. Wouldn't anybody's spotter sit there and say, "Wreck him, wreck him"? You know, it goes through your head. I say that to my friends on iRacing when I'm spotting for them. You know?
Yeah, you get caught up in the excitement, and these guys, these spotters, I mean, they're in a position where they're far enough removed from the actual racing where you could say they're just fans who got it, who wanted a way to get into the sport. I mean, that's totally a thing, you know, and the guys I know that spot, I mean, they're just big racing fans at the end of the day. So, yeah, I feel like he just got over enthused, and like, how often does Austin Dillon win? Not often, so I'm sure he doesn't get to see wins. He got overexcited and
grows a centimeter every time he wins.
Well, he's never gonna have a full head of white hair then. That's a good thing.
What happens when it turns white? Like when the hair turns white, when his hair turns white, what happens to the rest, to the spot? Does it turn black?
He's gonna be the. That's a good question, actually.
Or does it? You know, I've always wondered that. You know, what surprises me the most is the two drivers that I could not stand, like Kyle Busch fan, whatever, but the two drivers that I could not stand for years and still couldn't stand until this year that surprised me were Austin Hill with the thing he did sometime. He took somebody out just for the hell of it because he was going to get the win if he did. And then tonight with Austin Dillon, which I did not expect. I didn't expect that to happen. I gained a lot of respect. I gained a lot of respect for what Joey Logano said too. Every time he gets mad, his chin moves out like 6 more inches.
Well, I like that Joey was showing his true self. Like when we got that in-car audio, I think it was last year, and he was yelling at the track workers. Like he was being his true self, and yeah, he was still able to restrain himself, I guess, because he's got kids, you know. So I mean, I respect Joey because he's talented and he's experienced, and you know, he's pretty honest. I just don't like, you know, the way he's driven guys that I like. You know, he's pissed me off many times in the past.
I mean, we all have reason to dislike him, I think. But
yeah, him and Denny, I both guys I've disliked for a long time. I've warmed up to Joey a little bit, but Denny no. So it's just kind of funny they're both the ones that got taken out. And I'm not an Austin Dillon fan, but I was tonight.
I haven't liked Denny since his pizza face came onto the scene. He had like a fat pizza face when he first started.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. There's that video. There's an interview I watched after a race where he took out Kyle Petty or something, and
Yeah.
Kyle said he needs his medication. Actually, it's right here on Dippin' Sauce. If you guys want to search back in the archives, it's there somewhere. Back when we used to be called Chad's Canals. That's for the real OGs.
That was an OG thing, wasn't it? Back before we started
Yeah.
this shit that's now almost up to 700,000 views, which is quite an accomplishment.
I think it's been 3.5 years.
Did we get a plaque if we get 1 million views?
I think it's possible. I believe they do it for channels that make original content, and I mean we do. Oh, that's for subscribers, I think. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we
cool. Probably need like 10,000 or 100,000. Oh yeah.
Listen, the reason we started this channel was to basically be the alternative to the stupid shit that's out there. Tonight's a great example. If you're a NASCAR fan and you weren't entertained by this, then go watch something else. Go watch CSI. Go watch something, because I am in the business of entertainment. Even with Kyle Busch as my favorite driver wrecking every week, I'm in it for the entertainment. If you entertain me, I'm going to watch no matter what. That's how you keep people after they retire, after their driver retires. And that's what people are failing to realize by driving down things with your Jeff Clucks and your Jordan's not so bad, but your people out there that want to be negative about it. There's no reason to be negative about it. Tonight was great. He should not be suspended. I think there's others out there that would disagree with me and say that he should be because of the precedent that was set when Chase was not and shouldn't have been suspended, which I get.
Yeah.
I think this one's personally a little different because of the way it transpired. The fact that somebody can hit somebody one corner and spin out the next for no reason, you know.
Well, and this is a different scenario in two aspects too, and I agree with sticking to your precedent, even though I don't know that I agree with the precedent to begin with, like you said. But and I'm not talking about Joe Biden here, but it was a short track, so it's different than a mile and a half putting someone in the wall. And the other thing, this was the end of the race on a restart or overtime, so even more, even crazier. But when Chase did that, it was not the end of the race, and it was in, what was it, Texas or whatever, or Charlotte, something like that. Higher speed, more track to, hit the wall with more force, and it's just a different scenario. But yeah, it's just either way. I don't know. I don't agree with Chase having been suspended over that, and so I wouldn't want Austin to be either. That's overdoing the rules. Safety's good. You can never be too safe for the most part, but overdoing the rules, you end up like Formula One, or where you're like get penalized for, I don't know, licking this guy's nipple hair by accident or something. Yeah, it's like it ruins the racing.
Waving to somebody the wrong way.
And people want to emulate that. Like, I mean, if you want that, just stick to Formula One. Please don't comment on NASCAR, because I don't want that crap.
Go watch Matt Weaver do his short track stuff. Or
I watch Matt Weaver's OnlyFans,
or
and I feel like I'm watching Formula
One. Moonhead with the frisbee in his throat. It's got a constant frisbee.
Well,
he must have swallowed a frisbee when he was young. Grew into it. It grew around it. Became a part of him.
I'm a Dale Earnhardt fan. I feel like Dale Earnhardt's really proud tonight.
Don't even get me started on that motherfucker.
I thought he was the next Intimidator, but Austin Dillon
he was so bad he had to go to kick.
Oh my gosh.
He had to. I think it was him that went over on kick. I mean, at least
Sports bets didn't go good for him, huh?
Yeah, which it's probably about time to shave the mustache and get rid of the mullet and go to school or something.
Yeah, or at least maybe do like I don't know, different driver, different shtick.
Yeah, and if anybody ever dates him, I would laser hair removal that mustache quicker than You can fucking cook a Eggo in the toaster. Ooh,
And man, Brett Griffin can cook an Eggo in a toaster in about 4 seconds. The fastest toaster stop in NASCAR.
Brett Griffin is the human field goal.
He
Twice as
takes a
much
bite
when
of
he
that Eggo and
smiles.
the whole thing slides through. He doesn't even get any of it.
He sinks his
Doesn't
teeth
bite it.
into
Just
the
goes.
apple, and it just leaves something in the whole. It's like a replica of Saturn.
No, but we love Brett. I mean,
I hate
he
that guy. Brett Griffin
no,
is
we
a
we
slob.
love
What a slob! You just
no
know he smells of Old Spice and Axe body
no.
spray with like a hint of like tobacco because he's not been smoking, but he's been standing with the people that are smoking.
I feel like he definitely chews. He's the type to chew
I mean, how could you
food.
not with the teeth?
Chews food. Make sure you get it in the molars. But what I like about Brett is
The way his gut hangs
let's
over
move
his
on.
belt.
I was just gonna say let's move on because I can't think of anything. But God bless him.
Move
His
on,
door
don't
bumper
get
is
stomped
clear.
on. Freddie Kraft
Ain't
macaroni and
that?
cheese as well.
Oh man, that stuff's good.
Freddie Kraft macaroni and cheese. Who I
Oh
thought
yeah,
was
he's
like doing
delicious.
Brett Griffin's laundry or something until he came out of the woodworks. And Pete Pistone too. I don't know if you
Yeah,
know much about Pete Pistone, but my God,
a
somebody that could just
little
put
bit.
me to sleep on the way to work. Like my
Oh yeah.
God. You could tell that he had a nasal problem, just a nerdy nasal problem. Just by
Oh
the way he
gosh.
sounded. You
Yeah, he's the type.
Yeah, he anyway, these are the people that were getting on my nerves tonight. I don't think he should be suspended.
Usual suspects.
I
No,
don't think it's inconsistent. I think
you're gonna
it.
suspend people. Then NASCAR wants to promote. And I hate. Sorry to cut you off, but I hate
No,
this
you good.
argument too. People are like, NASCAR penalizes them, post it on their social media. Well, first of all, social media team probably doesn't get direct text from NASCAR officials saying, "Hey, post this for
Yeah,
promotional content."
yeah.
It's two different entities. Um, but anyway, I like I with that being said, I hate that they'll like go and penalize someone and then they will have that stuff in their commercials. Like they're gonna penalize that and then discourage other drivers from doing that. But then they want to make it entertaining. They do stuff to make it purely for entertainment, like stages and lower horsepower. But then they want to go penalize someone for making something extremely tweetable and get viewership up. It's counterintuitive. It's a little backwards. I don't really get it, but that's me.
Yeah, people just fight to get entertained. I don't understand it. They just want to be bored to death.
Yeah.
Dylan
Oh, Twitter's
Goudon,
like that.
Dylan Goudon's a negative to say. He doesn't understand how Matt Kenseth got in trouble for it, how Chase got in trouble for it. Those weren't instances
Yeah.
for wins, first of all. Secondly, in the first incident, the driver, Matt Kenseth, was about 10 laps down, if I remember correctly. So that's two knocks. And in the Bubba
Yeah.
Wallace in the Bubba Wallace thing, they were racing for like it wasn't for the lead.
I think it was like it was
They were
up
on the
there
lead
about like
lap.
top 5 thing, and Bubba was like he was thinking he was gonna win the race again like he did the year before and stuff, so he got pissed off at Larson for whatever. And that was Bubba put him in the wall hard, but then he also went over right after he might have got injured and then went and like shook him around. Like that's
Right.
you don't do that to someone who just went in a car crash. So different story for sure.
Well, it all just it annoys me because I want to be entertained and I want to have fun when I watch these races and even before like the option tire thing tonight was great. I thought that was awesome. It created like 3 or 4 really good storylines throughout the night that were intriguing,
Yeah.
including Austin
Yeah, it's
Dillon.
interesting.
At the end there, and I think that's an idea that they should try out other places. It's probably too dangerous to do it somewhere else, but I would totally do it because I feel like it was a massive
Martinsville.
success. And fuck people that don't like Richmond. I have loved Richmond since the day I watched my first race there. And I used to go to Richmond.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Yeah, I guess I'm not too far from it right now, actually. Um, it's not my favorite track, but I
It
mean, the
had some
racing's
good
always
ones.
seems to be pretty good. I think it's sour for me because I think of it in terms of racing it like in games or on iRacing, and it's just
Yeah.
a tough track for me. But which is a dumb reason, but I think that's why it's not my favorite. But that I mean, every time I watch the races, they're pretty good. So I don't know why I don't have a legitimate reason.
Yeah,
It's a
people are
nice
like the
track.
racing sucks. I was like, what the fuck are they even wanting? They literally want NASCAR the game inside
I don't know.
line
I feel like
5
it's
by
pretty
5
cool.
by 5 every corner, and it is the stupidest thing. It is so.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's horrible. Jordan B said, NASCAR, art thou bored? No, I never get bored with NASCAR. I never get bored with NASCAR. And I never will. It's the greatest thing ever.
It's
Big Brother is really
there's
good this year, though, and you can call me nerd all you fucking
yeah.
want for that, but it's true.
No, there's a lot of people who are really big into Big Brother. I mean,
So mosey on
over
over
10
to
years ago, I had
CBS
my
after
friend.
the race and listen to it. Or why? Don't listen to it. Listen to me.
Oh yeah,
And just because I'm
Big
doing
Brother.
a podcast doesn't make Brad Keselowski look anything less of a horse. Just always remember that.
Remember, he's a Kentucky Derby winner, Mike.
But yeah, so that's pretty much gonna wrap it up. I figured
He's
we do like
Daytona
a short
500.
one. We just do a real short one on the
Yeah.
on what was going on, because I was on the fence about this tonight, and you have something big happen, and I was like, okay, I could talk about that, but to all you baby asses out there crying about it, like, go find something else to do to get entertained, because as a fan, I don't even want you watching, and I could care less.
I would look up. I would look up Brett Griffin's OnlyFans and support him on there because that door bumper clear thing, it's not working out, and
Yeah,
he
he's
needs
saving
the
for a
support.
new set of teeth. He's about halfway there, so go over and give him a like and a subscribe.
Well, he wants to get his gap filled, but I'm not sure which gap he's talking about. So you have to go to the OnlyFans and find that out yourself. I won't promote it on here, but go ahead and check it out.
He should be like one of the people that would ever get keep the gooth. Like
Like
between
Tom
the
Cruise.
two, between like kind of
That's a real NASCAR.
where he has the middle. No, where he
Days
has like
of,
the tooth in the
days
middle
of
of the
molars.
two. Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
I got a new tooth. The middle
To
one.
tell you the truth, in the middle.
Freddie
That's gonna
Krebs
be the
not
new
that
thing,
far
too.
behind him.
No, I mean, I'd ship it. I think they're a good couple.
I think they're already living together.
Really?
They stay up at night and watch streams of Chicago because it freaks them the fuck out. Brett Griffin is scared to death of Chicago. Like, so much so that I
think
would
it's,
not, I know he's going downtown in Chicago wearing a full tack vest, and probably, he's got his codpiece in, and and he's walking like he's got a dirty diaper. Because he's
you
packed.
you gotta have the codpiece on in Chicago though. That's one thing I'll give him credit for, because last time I went to Chicago, I didn't have it on. They tried to shoot me, so I don't know.
Yeah.
It's scary there.
He's afraid. He's deathly afraid of it. There's criminals.
Oh, we need to go back then.
There's criminals.
That's right. No, Brett's right though. Let him cook. I mean,
South Carolina's
let
great.
them cook some hot dogs.
South Carolina's
You know what?
great.
That just means he liked the food in South Carolina better. That's all it was.
Yeah. Poor Brett. I do think that's gonna wrap it up for tonight. I want to thank Righty for sitting here listening to me.
Absolutely.
Shit. Didn't have a lot to get off my chest. I just wanted to talk about that finish. The rest of the race was great.
Oh yeah, fun race. From what I did get to see, it was very interesting, very cool idea NASCAR had with the tires. I give them credit for that.
Well,
so cool.
If you didn't like this podcast tonight, you probably will go like Darian Gilliam's videos, so go fucking watch that.
Yeah.
But I appreciate those who did listen tonight. We are the alternative. Not that we always agree with NASCAR. It's entertainment, baby. Always remember that.
And if I could just make a quick plug.
Yeah, make a plug. Give them a hair plug. It's not a tooth plug for Brett, is it?
Well, yes, but also check out Righty. I don't even know what the handle is. Righty Designs on Twitter. I designed all these sorts of schemes for Austin Dillon, Kyle Busch, all these guys. They haven't used any of them, but I design them and I make them. And I said I'm gonna end my life if they don't use it next year. So look out for those schemes on the on TV next year. And thanks for watching.
Yeah, and he designs the schemes, and I'm actually Gary Drayton from Oak Island. So I want you to reach in your pocket, pull out, and be like, "It's a tooth."